every GSoC video tells you what to do, but nobody shows you how to do it. So today I'm going to do something very different. I'll open my actual GSoC proposal, my actual email thread with mentors, and the exact GitHub issues and PRs that got me into GSoC in the very first year. Not theory, not 5 tips to crack GSoC. I literally show you what I wrote, what they replied, and what I did. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly where to start. Hey, I'm Sohad. I'm 19 and a student at SST. And my very first year of college, I got into GSoC. And honestly, a huge part about it was the environment here. GSoC isn't like JEE or any coding exam which can push you up and you can rank up higher. Nobody in college can make you crack GSoC. What actually matters is the people you sit with every day and how they make you think. And here, I am part of the Open Source Club. It's a place where we sit and learn together. We dissect real projects. We read and navigate through large repositories, we organize hackathons, and explore a lot of security and tooling tools that actually ends up in open source. It's less about do GSoC and more about how we can contribute to the ecosystem. And this entire culture is what made GSoC feel like natural next step for me. I contributed to Chromium. It was a 12-week-long Android project for which I got $1,500 in stipend. But this video is not about money or flexing a tag. It's literally about reverse engineering how this all happened. Because I was tired of so many generic videos about GSoC on the internet. So here's the structure. First, I will show you how I picked my org and project. Second, I will show you how I did my real first contribution from issue to code to PR. And third, I'll open my actual email thread with my mentors and break down why those conversations actually worked. And finally, we'll do a mini workshop in which I will give you a 3-step process you can start on your own. So if you're serious about GSoC and actually want to understand how this works from someone who's been inside it, keep watching. But don't just watch. Follow along, open your laptop and treat it like a working session. But before we get on to the first thing, what's more important is understanding what GSoC even is. GSoC is not a Google internship or a certificate or a flex on LinkedIn. GSoC exists for one primary reason: to keep open source alive. Open source means the code is public, free to use, free to modify. Android is open source, VLC is open source, and hundreds of tools and projects you use daily are built this way. People all over the world have earned a lot of money from tech, and open source is one way of giving back to the community. So Google pays mentors and students like me to work on projects which anyone can use for free. So if your only motivation is कि tag मिल जाएगा, resume अच्छा हो जाएगा, placements में आसानी हो जाएंगी, then this journey will be super tough for you. Everyone says, go to the GitHub website, pick an org, and you are done. But let me show you what that actually means. This is where normally land, and it is so overwhelming, so many new names and technologies that you have never heard about, and what most people do is they scroll, see a familiar name and log in. But here's what to do instead. Filter by technologies you know and are familiar with. For me, I had been contributing this a long time. I came across a fresh project by Chromium, and what excited me, I have to learn a complete new framework to operate it. Now, but we choose among the repositories, then fork it, then set up locally. For this, you have to go to the README where you need to look for how to set up section, follow the steps, and run it to make sure it's running. And then use the software personally, understand how it works, and could say you'll discover so many bugs, issues, or new features. Or you can pick any issues from the issues page on GitHub. My question at this point wasn't which issue will give me easy contribution, but it was which issue will actually improve the software. So if you're watching this, I want you to pause after this section, go to the GitHub, look for the org, and don't just search for easy problems or easy contributions. You have to look for what matches your skill set and how you can contribute the best. I found issues which I felt I could solve. No one was paying me, nobody promised me a slot. I was just another random student. But by the time most people were thinking about proposals, I have already pushed meaningful work. So this is very similar from the first issues I picked. And once you have picked the issue, you have to break it down into 3 questions. First, what exactly is broken or missing? And for that, a good start is looking at the comments people have put. Second, where in the code base does this issue lie? And third, what has been done before that looks similar? And that's done by understanding the architecture and flow and spending time with the code base. Once I understood that, I made a small safe change and moved things to the right direction, which was raising a PR. If you're watching this, your goal for the next 2-3 weeks is not to crack GSoC, but to get your PR merged and contribute to software. And that brings us to step 3. Now this is the part where most of the videos mess up. They say talk to mentors, but they never show you how. अब ये देखो, this is one of my actual email threads with a mentor. The focus here is about work and not a desire to get selected in the GSoC. Now look at the structure of the mail. Every conversation that you start needs to be strong. I tell them about myself, ask for advice, and more important is genuinely seek feedback. Now look at the reply. They're giving real feedback because they themselves also want to help. But for that, you need to make it easy for them to help you, which is by giving a context which is clear and not just for reaching out. Be real and keep the ask specific, because if there are thousands of people going for tags, the mentors would always know who are the ones who want to actually learn and contribute, because the proposal you draft anyway goes to the same people only. Over a few emails like this and few more contributions, by the time I submitted my proposal, I wasn't just a name that hit the dashboard. I was the same person who had been regularly contributing, taking feedback, improving. They had seen my code and my attitude. The only thing that differentiates a person is always showing up and binding a conversation in a way that they remember you. So, before emailing a mentor, answer 4 specific questions. First, what have I done till now? Second, where exactly am I stuck? Third, what are 1-2 specific decisions do I need help with? And fourth, in what way they can help and contribute. Now the part everyone is obsessed with, the proposal. Let me show you my own proposal. Look at the first page. Most proposal starts with, I am X from Y college, I know ABC, blah and blah. Mine starts with a brief content of the project, what I've already done, and how my work will extend what's there. Then this section, instead of saying I will learn X and will try Y, I gave them an actual phase-wise breakdown with the timeline. For example, phase 1 में ये implement होगा, phase 2 में ये changes होंगे और improvements होंगे, phase 3 में आते आते हमारा project किस stage में होगा. And this gave them so much clarity on what they are betting on. So the proposal was a clear continuation of the work they have already seen. So when a mentor reads this, they're not guessing, can this person actually do it? They are thinking, we have seen him do it, this is just scaling that work. If you're writing a proposal right now, ask yourself, does this document actually prove anything? Or is it just promises? If it's only promises, it won't work. Now, before I tell you what exactly you need to do in the next 7 days, I have something to say. Getting accepted into GSoC is not the start, nor the end. It's a milestone you may or may not hit up. The entire motive behind GSoC is for you to contribute to better software for the future. If your motive is only for the tag or the resume or any other thing, and you are just doing a lot of hard work to just get in, it's not the right play. It's a disrespect for the mentors, for the program, and for the entire community which is trying to do something better. If you're disappearing after some time, or you're not able to contribute, or not able to give your time to the community, don't be part of it. Don't waste a slot which someone can genuinely use to learn. The motive of the entire video was for you to understand what GSoC is and how you can be part of a beautiful community. Please embrace it and don't try to ruin it. Now, if this entire thing makes sense to you, let's come on the final workshop we planned earlier. So, this is what I want you to do in the next 7 days. Day 1 to do. Go to the GSoC org list or archive. Pick 3 orgs that genuinely interest you. For each, open GitHub and fork it. Day 3 to 4. For each org, list 5 to 10 issues that you can at least read and understand. Take one issue and do what I showed you. Find where the issue is and refer to similar PRs. From day 5 to 7, attempt changes and try to solve them. If you get stuck, draft an email like the one I showed you today. What you tried, where you stuck, and 1 to specific questions. Don't even have to send it yet. Just practicing the process puts you ahead of 90% of people who only binge roadmap videos. Just practicing this process puts you ahead of 90% of the people, because that's how my journey started. Not with a perfect plan or a roadmap, but with one issue, one PR and one honest email. But for now, close this video, open the org page and get started, because when others are chasing for the tag, I want you to become the exact developer GSoC is meant for. Let other people chase a tag. You become the developer GSoC is meant for.